Hello, I'm Andrew Safner with asafnerproductions. Welcome to Safner and Cross Unfiltered, where we tackle politics, sports, travel, fitness, and investing, all with a side of unfiltered opinions. You know, I was on my way here to the studio, and I noticed how green the trees are during the summertime. It's super beautiful. I remember living in Florida for 4 years, and I always remember coming back home. I just really appreciated how nice it was here in the summer.
Yeah, it's nice with the deciduous forest and stuff.
But yeah, I like how Pennsylvania has all 4 seasons. Fall's super beautiful. It doesn't last as long, but it's still beautiful when all the leaves are changing colors, and fall's beautiful. Winter kind of sucks because it lasts too long, but the snow can be beautiful for a little bit of the time of the year. But towards the end, it kind of sucks. And then spring, you kind of get excited for summer. But yeah, summertime's super beautiful.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. The fall's one of my favorite too, because obviously you got football season, cooler weather.
Yeah. Didn't even think like football season is right there when it's fall and the games are starting. Like football's already started here in August, but that's when the football games have actually officially started, and it's just a good feel. October, Halloween, just hoodie weather.
Yeah, changing of the seasons makes it beautiful.
Yeah, I go to Thailand again in a couple weeks, and I just noticed the weather there's immaculate, but it's rainy season in September. That's when slow season starts.
Well, yeah, I mean, the fact that you get to go there in 2 weeks, I mean, I'd like to go there one day too. So makes
Yeah,
it nice to see your pictures and stuff. Like the highlight reel. So when I finally do go, I got a little bit of a person I can talk to, like a travel agent.
right. Like Phuket's amazing. It's just beaches everywhere. Culture's amazing. Sometimes I like to go out of the tourist areas, and it makes me feel really appreciative of what I have here in America. But it's the scenes there is beautiful. The Thai culture is amazing. It makes you really appreciate their way of living as well. Um, just but their beaches are just immaculate. Like their water is so blue. Like Florida has super nice beaches, but if you go to like beaches at Brownie Beach or something, it's just the water's kind of not there for me. I don't know. Once you've been to like a nice location like Hawaii or Thailand or Italy, it's just like Myrtle Beach just doesn't do it for me. You know
No,
what I
me
mean?
neither. Virginia Beach neither. It's just big thing of sand with the ocean there, pretty much like pond water. Sadly, I mean,
Yeah,
I mean, not the. I mean, that's the best way I could describe it.
yeah, pond
Especially
water.
like because we were obviously at the Amalfi Coast and stuff like that, and Portofino or whatever, Chicotera and stuff like that, and then you got the villas up there, you got the cliffs in there and all that, and it's just the rocks, and you could see everything. It's just like it melts together
It's
beautifully.
it's almost like you're going to a lake. When you go to the beach at a lake, it's not an ocean. It's just not immaculate like you would think. At least in my opinion. Like if somebody says let's go to the beach and they're talking about a lake, because around here there's a lot of lakes, not ocean. I just don't get excited for it. I like the smell of the salt, and I like the winds. I don't know, finding seashells, maybe shark's teeth. So
Yeah, getting stung by the occasional jellyfish once in a while reminds me of
yeah.
Destin, Florida. When we did that, we jumped into like a man of war.
Yeah, I actually had a friend that got stung by a stingray. He said it wasn't a fun experience, but I don't know. That's one thing. So, like, I'm not scared of spiders, I'm not scared of snakes, but one thing I fear is the bottom of the ocean where I can't touch, because you don't know what's under there. Like you said, jellyfish or sharks. I know you're more likely to get in a plane crash than you are getting attacked by a shark, but that fear's still there for me.
Yeah. Although
So,
I don't fuck with the ocean, dude. That's one thing. Like once you jump in there, you're no longer at the top of the food chain. So it's like, and I mean that. Like I think the deepest part's like 7 miles deep or something. That's just too deep.
speaking of plane crashes. I got in a motorcycle accident since we were talking about Thailand earlier. That's how mostly people travel. And I just remember we got back from a temple, so we started driving back, and I went up like this little hill area, and then there was like pebbles, and I went down, and like I said, it was raining a little bit, so it was wet. And I remember just my the back of my tire just slid, and I did like a front flip. Luckily, I was wearing a helmet, but there was like the four little Thai people just running right over to me, like helping me. You all right? You all right? I'm sitting there laughing. I blacked out for like 5 seconds. I'm like, holy cow, I must have wrecked. But yeah, they were super helpful. They helped me up. I think they were more worried than I was. I was cut a little bit, but that was a crazy experience. But I still get on a bike and I'm going to be running one again, so I just got to be more careful this time. But that was in Thailand. I've seen more bike accidents than I've seen car accidents here. I've never actually seen a car accident, knock on wood.
Yeah, that's impressive. But going back to the moped wrecking, yeah, that would be like one of the biggest fears I would have of renting one, because like that's why I made the decision never to rent one, because obviously the traffic patterns and everything is just so different over there.
Yeah.
And like all it takes is one fuck up and you're getting creamed by a car, and I'm just not about that.
So how we drive in the right lane, they drive in the left lane there, just like their car driver's seats are the opposite too. But luckily, the motorcycle I rented wasn't like the motorcycle didn't really get damaged. Maybe like the mirror was bent a little bit because I guess I stuck my hand down right before I did a front flip, so I was able to save it. So luckily, there wasn't really much damage. It's probably a good thing I didn't get like a Ducati or something.
Yeah, no doubt. That would have been way worse.
Oh, God. Luckily, it's just like a little Peter Parker bike, but
Yeah, a little Vespa or something.
yeah. But
That's the way that is in Cancun and stuff. Like if you drive around there, like even the Dominican Republic, you always got like this little tiny dude on, and then you got like a big chick on the back, and then you got like a couple kids on it, sadly, and they're just little putting along. It's crazy, but I mean that's their culture and that's how they do it.
yeah, policemen. If you're a tourist, you're an easy target for them because you're not really supposed to be having a bike without a license, and you're definitely not supposed to be drinking. But they don't even really get you for that. But they have like a DUI checkpoints essentially here, just waiting for tourists to go by on bikes. So if you're with somebody, like if you have a lady friend or something that's Thai, they don't stop you at all. But if you don't have anybody, they will pull you over and they'll ask you for like, what is it, like 130 Thai baht? It's like $30. But yeah, that was a fun experience. I also like how like they have tigers that aren't declawed. They're not sedated, and there's little Thai people in there. Like they're half the size of us, and they're hitting it with a stick to calm it. And they're like, "Oh, do you want to walk it?" I'm like, "Sure, why not?" My adrenaline was going all over the place. I love that, but there's a tiger behind me. I look around, and he's just walking, pacing, looking right at me with his yellow eyes. They're like, "Oh, don't look at it in the eyes." I was like, "Oh, okay, now you tell me." And yeah, well, I got to walk a tiger by its tail, and that was one of the coolest experiences I've ever had. You can't do that here in America.
No, that would definitely be something I'd be a little more standoffish about. It's like it sounds good in theory, but like I don't know, that thing's just a beast. Like,
Yeah, that tiger was scary, man. They're huge. They're not like a big dog. They're fucking huge. So that's like, in my opinion, that's the real king of the jungle. First of all, they live in a jungle. They might not live in prides, but I think that's why the lions get the king of the jungle. But yeah, I definitely would mess with a tiger, that's for sure. And little Thai guys hitting it with a stick doesn't help the case.
no, that's for sure.
But yeah. So, anyways, I was working out the other day, and yeah, I've been getting suggested to not start off at heavy weight because you can hurt your shoulders when you're older. But I put on 3 plates and I went right for it and I got it 3 times. And I'm starting to feel it a little bit today, but I feel pretty good about myself. So,
Well, there you go.
would you say you ran a mile today? That's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't do it often, so but I seen a statistic that said that like after you're like 33 or some, early 30s, it's like 90% of Americans, or people for that matter, I can't remember exactly, will never sprint again in their life.
Yep, it's over 30 years old. They said
It's
anybody 30 or over won't ever sprint again, 90% of the people.
And then, like, think about it this way: when you're like 80 or 90, if you're lucky enough to get that old, you're going to be wanting to wish you ran. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to
Mhm.
wish you could run. You worked out and you did all that. And obviously, I ran today and did a few things. And it was like so hard to want to do it because obviously, I worked out 4 days last week, Monday to Thursday. And then come the weekend, obviously, we watched the fight. I drank some beers more than I should have.
We went out to Timber Creek, got some
Went,
good food.
yep. So it's like I was obviously not on my diet.
Mhm.
And then obviously, after I was drinking and watching the fight, I went and did a bunch. I ate like a half a pack of Oreos.
Yeah, you just kind of have to work past that. I mean, I don't eat until I go to the gym. It's like a all mental thing. I don't even think about it. I wake up, I'm hungry, but I go right to the gym. It's just kind of part of a routine now, which I'm glad I worked past it. I feel incredible. I went on the carnivore diet for that month, but now I'm 85/15 and I still feel good. There's days where I feel a little sluggish, then I slow it down for that day, maybe make it 95.5% non-carnivore, and I feel pretty good about myself.
That's
So,
good. Yeah, because sometimes we need that like mental check.
mhm.
Because I don't know about anybody else, but like personally, I am a thief of my own time. We all do it. We rob ourselves all the time, whether it's, to have more alcohol than you should, not to put the fork down, not to go to the gym. You're only hurting yourself and stealing from yourself
Yeah.
ultimately. So that's the biggest setback is, getting out of your own headspace and
And
stuff.
I've been there too before where, it's like hard to get motivated. You're not like it's getting into that rhythm. And when you're not in that rhythm, it's really hard to get started. And once you get past it, it's you just feel really good about yourself. But I've been there where like you wake up, you're like, "Oh, I'm not going today. I just don't feel like it." And I never want to go back to that. So that's why once you get started, do not stop because it's easy to lose it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it comes quick. Like as soon as you stop, it just instantly starts going downhill if you don't stop yourself from doing that.
Yeah.
Because we all ultimately are our own worst enemies at the end of the day.
Right, right. If you can't look in the mirror and you're not happy with yourself, I mean, who are you going to be happy with?
I agree.
And doctors won't, they like it when you're sick. All they know is how to prescribe you pills.
Nothing sicker than an American.
Right, and they don't ever give you natural remedies. That's what's cool about overseas too. When you're in Thailand, I feel like the doctor cares about you. Uh, you know, I, I got a little sick, so they gave me some medicine. I thought it was going to be outrageous. It was like $20 for a couple pills. And they'll ask you if it's not like you'll have a problem with your stomach. Say you got the shits or something, and it's just not doing it for you. They'll be like, "Oh, why don't you keep on it for another month and see what happens?" Listen, I'm a black belt in my own body. I know what to put in, what not to put in. Everybody's different. Doctors, I don't know. I just feel like they go to med school to learn how to put you on pills, and I don't think they're actually there for your best interest. I think you're just a reoccurring customer. That's business.
Yep, a monthly copay or, bi-monthly every 6 months. They put you on that regimen. And then all they want to do is come in. You're in there. They want you there 15 minutes early. You get there 15 minutes early. They make you wait 15 more minutes. And then you see the doctor for all the 5 minutes.
Yep, that's how it goes too.
And they probably bill your insurance like $150. You have to pay a minimum, usually $25 to $50 copay for them to tell you all that.
Well, I heard like if you break a finger and then your bill's like $10,000. I heard it's always smart to ask for an itemized bill. If you ask for an itemized bill, they will have to give you like the cost of everything, and most of the time it's all bogus. So you can usually get that bill down a lot. And I've seen people have a $5,000 bill. They ask for one, they get it down to $2,000. So it's always smart to ask for an itemized bill.
That's another thing that like people don't realize is like health insurance has gotten outrageous in this country too. I personally pay over $1,200 a month for health insurance for me and my wife,
That's
which is
insane.
more than my mortgage.
Yeah.
So like to put that in perspective, like a lot of people don't realize that because obviously the average person, gets their insurance through a group insurance through an employer. But when you're not getting it through an employer, because obviously their employer pays a lot of that too. You know what I mean? Which is obviously a good kickback for being an employee.
Yeah. You know, that that fight, Khamzat, where he got dominated for 5 rounds. What do you think about that?
That was, yeah, definitely. Yeah, I
Yeah,
wouldn't
he got dominated.
yeah, I wouldn't even call the Crows out. I'd get the Ravens out because that was a massacre.
Oh my gosh, that was a good fight. I mean,
Yeah.
even though it was a lot of people were upset because there wasn't much stand up, I actually enjoyed watching like Hamzat's art taking him down anytime he wanted. It was just so easy for him.
Made him his bitch.
Yeah, I mean,
Essentially, that's what happened.
just think about it too. Like
it was the second most control time of any fight.
yeah, DDP. He's already defended the title twice, and Khamzat just made it seem like he wasn't even the champion. Like he seemed like he was just some Joe Schmo off the street, but he absolutely dominated. What did he have? 500 strikes.
Yeah, over 500. Yeah,
I
and
don't
then 12 takedowns or something like that.
DDP had what, 40 something?
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
Jesus, man, he just absolutely dominated
and
that
I
fight.
get they weren't like obviously massive strikes, but I mean, I wouldn't have wanted to personally sit there and be crucifixed and popped in the head over and over by that
But
guy.
that's what makes it like mixed martial arts. I mean, he mastered of getting those points, and that's what it takes. I mean, I kind of like Habib's style where, just get in the cage, no rounds, and see who comes out, I mean, but this is UFC, and it's still cool and interesting to watch this, how it plays out with some people with wrestling and some people with stand-up. Like, I absolutely enjoyed watching Conor doing stand-up, and I kind of hated watching Khabib take him down and making him his bitch. But,
Yeah, I heard Hamzat asked the corner or whatever, and at the end of the third round if he could stand up. And that's when Armin was like, "No, you're not allowed to stand up. Like, you already won the 3 rounds. Just keep it on the ground." And it's like you got to think of it this way too: is like these fighters get more money when they win. You get what I'm saying? So if he would have stood toe to toe in the 4th round and got knocked out, obviously that would have been a huge upset. On top of him losing a bigger payday and not getting a belt.
What do you think about Strickland calling him out, saying, "I guess it's up to me because I'm not going to let him do that to me"?
Yeah, and then I heard he said something about he in practice he used to take him down. I would pay to see that.
Yeah, I would.
He's gonna ragdoll Strickland too.
Hamzat didn't even get to him. He's like, okay.
Yeah, I will say that he doesn't like let anybody phase him.
No, dude, he knows he's.
Yep.
You got to think he grew up with nothing, and now even United States, he has so many fans.
Yeah, he was living in his MMA gym or whatever.
Yeah,
I don't know if he owned it or not, but he was definitely living in it. Is what they say, like people say.
And his family motivates him. I mean, you got to respect. He's kind of just like Habib. His morals and values are very something to look up to.
Yeah, and the first thing he did was call his mom after he won.
Yeah.
So he's definitely a family man. And then I think he moved all his family into the same compound.
Yeah, he did.
I mean, that's to me, he's living the American dream somewhere else. You get what I'm saying? Like, what more can you want?
Yeah, I agree.
And then he wants to fight in Abu Dhabi already, which is phenomenal too. And Dana said it might happen.
Yeah, I mean, just think about that. That's 2 months away, and he's already ready to fight again.
I mean,
that's a true champion. That's a true leader. That's a true fighter.
Yep. And then I think now, obviously, since he's obviously a champion, will get way more money per purse, for fights. So, like, I don't see why he wouldn't want to fight as much as possible because he's made that very clear. That is the reason he fights.
Thanks for tuning in to Safner and Cross Unfiltered. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Thank you.
Tune in every Monday at 7 o'clock for a new episode.